Morning, church. Chad Donley here. Tomorrow is a federal holiday. For some of you, it might mean a day off work. For all of our children, it is a day away from school. But it's also a day that's been set aside to remember the work and the efforts of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He was a preacher, he was a teacher, and he was just a very successful spokesperson for nonviolent activism in the civil rights movement. In his very famous "I Have a Dream" speech, he makes the following statement: "I refuse to accept the view that mankind is so tragically bound to the starless midnight of racism and the war that the bright daybreak of peace and brotherhood can never become a reality. I believe that unarmed truth and unconditional love will have the final word." Martin Luther King was a great man who did great things for this country. I have my Bible open to 1 Samuel chapter 16. And in this passage, God has asked his prophet Samuel to choose for Israel a new king. But he gives him this forewarning. The Lord said to Samuel, 1 Samuel 16:7, "Do not consider his appearance or his height, for I have rejected him. The Lord does not look at the things man looks at. Man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart." All of us have heard, and many of us have maybe used the expression, you cannot judge a book by its cover. And for the most part, we know this maxim to be true. It takes time and effort and intentionality to really get to know somebody, to develop a relationship with them. You can't just base knowing who somebody is by the way they look, or even many times by the way they act. Think of the impact that we would have if we did our best to view those around us the way God sees them. To try to look past the physical appearance, to look past some of the actions and the things that they do, and to see their hearts, to see their spiritual conditions. We all have to work and live and play with people who do not have a relationship with Jesus. And many times they do things to hurt us. Many times they do things that can frustrate us. But if we would ask God to be able to see them the way He sees them, we would see a person who's hurting and needs Jesus. Man, what an impact that would make if we didn't base their physical appearance or their actions, and we saw them the way the Lord saw them. The same is true as we relate to those who already are followers of Jesus. Since we realize that brother or sister is a part of the family of God, we need to learn to see them the way God sees them, to love them the way God loves them. It's our responsibility to lift each other up, to encourage each other the way God has just molded and shaped and encouraged all of us to be the people that He's calling us to be. Our views of the souls around us should reflect the view that God has towards us. So my question for you is, have you been looking only skin deep? If so, I pray that we would all ask God to give us the courage to see children, His children, the way He sees them. Hey, may God help you do that. Pray you have a blessed day. Hope to see you all soon.